Afghanistan's hospitals are filled with the war wounded, many of them children. The latest here is a 13-year-old girl. She's never known peace. The doctors will patch her up and remove the shrapnel in her, but she'll emerge back into a country where survival is getting harder and harder. There's been a spike in fatalities and casualties as Allied troops begin to pull out after nearly 20 years, and the Afghans fear it'll only get worse. No one's safe, not even medics saving lives. He's a doctor, shot after refusing an X-ray on a patient he suspected had coronavirus. There are multiple dangers facing everyone in this country, and he signals his appreciation to his fellow medics.
I'm okay, thank you.
But despite his bravery, he's vulnerable because he also works with the Americans. Many who worked alongside the US troops are fleeing for their lives. Fatima, that's not her real name, and her children have gone into hiding after death threats from the Taliban for her work in empowering other women. She thought she was building a new and better Afghanistan, but now she's viewed as a spy and enemy collaborator by the Taliban, and her former US partners are leaving her to face the fighters alone.
I feel extremely abandoned. I'm in danger. It's not only that I am in danger, now my kids are in danger also. Because now, they came behind my door. They sent me, messages through the phone. They got in touch with me in many different ways. So it's the lives of my children and myself, both of us. So especially my kids at this point. They won't leave us. They won't leave me alive. I'm worried about my people, what's going to be happening with them.
Female activists like Mabua Saraj told us of the fear of the advancing Taliban.
Unfortunately, there is no flight.
Okay.
She and her staff are trying to arrange emergency flights for fellow human rights defenders in cities now surrounded by Taliban fighters.
Thank you.
I was given rare access and allowed to film inside a secret refuge she runs for dozens of women. No men are permitted to cross the threshold. Every woman and child in here has run away or been rescued from abuse and violence, and they're terrified of the return of the Taliban.
Their worst fear is that they will disrespect them, they will use them, abuse them, or molest them, or whatever, and also they will kill them. And then there is one of them that is afraid that her two children will be taken by their father, because their father is a Taliban.
Here, they don't believe the Taliban reassurances that they've changed. They tell me of shocking lives, of forced marriages, of beatings, of rapes, where they had no say and no rights. And that is what they believe the Taliban envisage for women. This 21-year-old told how she was being forced to marry a 13-year-old boy. I felt like my life was falling apart, she says, until I got here. Their fear of the Taliban is real and growing as the group gets stronger and snatches more territory. Another says she too was forced to marry a young boy and repeatedly beaten by her in-laws.
With the Taliban in power, will this just get worse?
I think it's definitely going to get worse, she says. The young women of today's Afghanistan have had a glimpse of free thinking and independence. Although those in this taekwondo club have all battled family disapproval to be here. And their martial arts training combine the skills necessary in this country, how to survive bomb blasts and bullets. All but one has been caught up in terror incidents, many near their schools. The Taliban insist they're more relaxed about girls' schooling, but their learning centres are still frequently attacked. Weeks before the pullout of international troops, a car bomb detonated outside a girls' high school in the capital killed at least 90 people. Every girl here knows they're risking death every time they set off to learn.
How scared are you about going to school?
I'm scared a lot. Whenever I leave my house, I'm scared, because we don't know if we'll come back alive, she says. 18-year-old Katera gets emotional, telling us she won't give up trying to be a lawyer. The explosions are normal to us now, she says. She's not afraid for herself, but she's terrified her family will be killed.
Have you lost anyone?
My cousin and uncle died in an explosion, she says. Almost everyone here has experienced death. Parts of Afghanistan are unrecognisable to Taliban times. Women owning and running their own businesses like this cafe. But they fear they'll be amongst the first to be banned by a Taliban regime. There's a new generation who've grown up with these small freedoms, and they want more, not less.
I'm not feeling good because if they come back to Afghanistan, so we have lost all of these rights to go out or even go out of home.
I don't like a scarf, but I can like.
She has to wear a scarf.
If Taliban come, I have to wear a scarf, and it's awful for me.
Next door to the cafe, there's a beauty salon, again owned and run by a woman. All this was taboo under the Taliban regime, and many fear it won't be long before the strict rules about what women can and can't do are enforced again. On top of the hills surrounding the capital, there are monuments to the school children killed in terror explosions, and these graves are still increasing, with few optimistic about Afghanistan's immediate future. Alex Crawford, Sky News, Kabul.